Hey guys, it's Road Dog Speaks back with another video. So today I wanted to discuss something that I thought was fairly interesting based on an interesting video that I'd seen from a couple of YouTubers, No Justice and Bowler Hatman, who were discussing the topic of voting tactically or not in the next election. I'll link the video down below so you can also watch it, because I found it quite sort of insightful and interesting, just to get a sense of like the perspective from left-wing views, if you like. But yeah, so they were both on talking about this and whether or not it was more prudent to vote tactically in the next election, whether that be next year or in January 2025, whenever you think that might be. But if you're on the left, should we just vote tactically in whatever constituency you're in order to get the Tories out? Because at this point, you know, the desperation is real. We all want to see the backs of the likes of Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak, the entire cabal of like Conservative cronies. We all want to see the back of it, and it was just interesting just seeing the differences of opinions between the two of them. On the one side you've got you know, we need to vote tactically in order to just get them out and then just see what Keir Starmer and Labour are going to do, even if it's just like a little bit better than what the Tories already are doing. And on the other side, well, I don't want to vote tactically. I won't vote for Labour because they're not doing enough for me. They're not being progressive enough. They're just dumping all of their policy pledges. They're turfing out all the, you know, proper left-wing councillors. They're deselecting or not selecting potential candidates to be in councils, and generally just trying to tack to the centre and appeal to more sort of Tory-leaning voters in order to get their sort of vote, rather than the left-wingers who Labour deem to be insubstantial. We don't need those people. They're probably either going to vote for us anyway, or if they don't, you know, we don't need them because we've already got the centre sort of and the right-ish to back for us anyway, because we're already 20 plus points ahead in the polls. So, you know, they don't matter pretty much, which is really terrible. I think that's awful. That's a real betrayal, I think, that Keir Starmer has committed, because I know that he began his leadership campaign on a bunch of pledges that were quite progressive and really sort of a progression of what Jeremy Corbyn's manifesto was. So a lot of it was, you know, part of that, which we all liked, you know, nationalisation of utilities, railway, more investment in NHS, etc. And yeah, all of that is really great. That's what we want. But now it appears, you know, 3 years on from his leadership campaign and election, that's all gone. He's basically stuck fingers up to everyone on the left to say, you know, F you all. I'm going to try and pander to these people instead. And he's done that. And I don't like that. I feel really let down. I feel really disappointed, gutted that that's the direction that Keir Starmer's chosen to go in. But, you know, what's the course of action in a general election? And that's the really interesting question. So my position is, at the moment, yes, I'm really fed up with the way Labour is carrying on. They've gone really into like the centre ground, possibly centre right, with just trying to appeal to floating Tory voters. You know, there's nothing really that they've announced other than abolishing the House of Lords that, you know, really makes me want to vote for them. anything that they say, or like anything that the Tories do, when Labour are asked if they're going to change anything or do it differently, they don't say they'd happily keep it the same. Please disagree with the Tories. That's your job. You're an opposition party. You should be standing up and, you know, defending the rights of migrants, the rights of homeless people, the rights of vulnerable people in society. And at the moment, all I see them doing is sort of just sitting on the fence, umming and ahhing about, you know, whether they should disagree with a Tory policy. So examples of this would be, I remember back in the summer where Labour were asked about the two-child benefit cap, which the Tories were going to continue with. Labour are also going to continue with it, which means it prevents basically families with more than 2 children to receive any extra means-tested benefits for their kids if they've got more than 2 children, basically. They're going to carry on with that. And another one was the issues with the barges to house asylum seekers. They're going to basically carry on with that as well, because, you know, their excuse is, oh, we're going to inherit a mess, so we're going to have to continue with that for a time. What? You're basically the Tories then. You're just Tory light, in my opinion, because, you know, you don't come out with anything bold. You don't come out with any radical change this country really needs and really is asking for. And instead of, you know, condemning the shit that the Tories are doing, you sit on the fence, you scratch your head, you and ah, and you're like, oh, well, you know, the country's going to be in a massive state and we can't afford to do X, Y, and Z and there's no money. Oh, God, be a bit more brave, Labour. God, be bold, be courageous. This country is crying out for change. And I did a video a few months back because I thought that Keir Starmer was a coward for not you know, making this change, for not being that radical. And I still stand by it. I think he's still a coward. He's not being brave, and I think he's cowed by the donors within the party who are donating from the right, from, you know, the media, the likes of the Murdochs again, who are just influencing his policy making. So back to the question of whether or not to vote tactically or not, and vote for the Green Party instead, who are realistically the only other sort of left-wing third party that you could vote for. At the moment, I'm tacking towards voting tactically because I live in a constituency where, you know, you could vote for a bucket of cold sick with a blue rosette on and it would still get voted in as the Tory MP. So I think that's what I am going to do, and hopefully there will be some shift. In terms of voting Green, just to like spite the Labour Party and try and push them towards a more left-wing position and sort of try and punish them electorally, I'm not 100% convinced on that, because I just think perhaps the party actually needs to be in power before you can affect change of that kind. I think that, yes, the Conservatives were able to be influenced by UKIP in the whole Brexit debacle, Brexit campaign, etc. And yes, you could make the argument that that was an effective way of moving the party to the right in order to, you know, so that UKIP, Al and Nigel Farage could get their policies enacted, etc. That was an effective move. But I'm just not sure how strong the left are at the moment in forcing Keir Starmer in that direction. He's pretty much already told us where to go. So I think I'm just going to hold off and just vote tactically, and when Labour get in, if they get in, then we can start the work of influencing them more to the left and then trying to threaten them like UKIP did. I'm not sure if that will work, but I just think the general state the left are in at the moment, I don't know. I'm more interested in getting the Tories out at the moment, because I just think that there are many people out there who just can't afford another 5 years of Conservative government if this is what it is. I really do. I think there's so many vulnerable, poor people in this country who are crying out for change, and whatever Labour do, I know that I'm speaking in a sort of in a place of desperation, but I really just want to get the Tories out, and if it means voting tactically in order to do that, then I'm happily going to do that. And then if and when Labour gets in, and the left can start to make movements and start campaigning more, and like working in groups to affect shifting to the left and moving Labour policy, then that's a great thing, and I'm all for it. So yeah, that's what I think. It'll be really interesting to see you guys' views in the comments. If you're on the left and you're not sure what you're going to do, or you're going to vote tactically, or you're just not going to bother, you're going to spoil your vote Green, vote for somebody else to give Keir Starmer and Labour a kick in the teeth, then let me know if that's your choice as well. It'd be great to hear your views. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you again in next time. Bye.